guys? Last 24, 48 hours?
Yeah. I would say it has been.
Hey, Rocky, can you come over here? That way, if you're asking questions, he's not going to be looking towards the window.
Yeah.
You don't want me looking at Kevin?
Hey,
Is that what you're saying?
Hooked up. We're just going in. I'm rolling, so whenever
You guys are good?
I'm good too.
All right, good morning. Well, the snowfall associated with Winter Storm Fern has stopped and road conditions are improving. This remains an active winter weather event due to continued wind, drifting snow, and extremely cold temperatures. Franklin County remains under a level 1 snow emergency. Roads are open, but conditions remain hazardous. Drivers should use extreme caution, slow down, increase following distance, and be prepared for slick and drifting conditions. As of this morning, we will have addressed every road in the city at least once. We are now transitioning from the emergency operation to systemic cleanup and neighborhood level service. Roads are passable, but certainly not perfect. Our goal is straightforward: to make streets citywide as safe and as passable as we can. It's important to note a residential street that has been serviced does not mean you will see the pavement. It will be passable. Our snow warriors' job is to make them passable so residents can slowly and carefully make their way to larger collector streets that are only a few blocks away. The goal is to get you to the roads that are totally cleared as quickly as possible. Our priorities moving forward: final cleanup on priority 1 arterial routes, continued work on priority 2 routes, and a second phase of residential streets. I signed approved another emergency order last evening for an additional $100,000 for private contractors to help us continue with our surge in residential areas over the next couple of days. Current snapshot: I'll let the director and Scott go more into detail here. Making significant progress, as I said, on arterial, collector, residential routes. Currently, we have about 80 trucks out. Couple quick updates on the downtown snow hauling, because I know that's not been done since, I think, 2008. Pretty unprecedented for us. We have continued hauling snow out of downtown Columbus. It's necessary in the central business district due to accumulated snow in travel lanes and limited space for storage. This work allows us to maintain visibility, traffic flow, and safe pedestrian access downtown. And again, as I did yesterday, I want to thank Franklin County Engineer Adam Fowler, who actually is a former member of the City of Columbus Department of Service. As an employee, worked for us before he was elected county engineer. He's been an incredible partner. His office has provided hauling crews in 20 trucks, truly showing the value of regional partnerships. And I believe they have moved more than 1,200 loads of snow thus far. So this is the largest snow event Columbus has experienced since 2008. In recent years, we simply have not seen snow totals like this, particularly in such a relatively short period of time. Our auxiliary contractor program, launched 3 years ago, proved essential. The first year of the program saw less snow than typical and allowed the team to further refine and expand its capacity. This storm required that expanded force, and it delivered. We have learned important lessons during this storm and plan for a full after-action review, ongoing commitment to continuous improvement. We think we can get better for the people of Columbus as we look at these lessons moving forward. Chief Snow Warrior Scott Turver and the entire Department of Public Service team have been outstanding, along with every snow warrior who has worked long, difficult hours during this generational storm. I was really thrilled to be able to spend a little bit of time with some of the snow warriors, thanking them last night down at the Marion facility. Took them some pizza, thanked them. They're tired, but they're proud. of the work that they're doing and really feel as an important part of this community's response to this storm. I guess one thing people aren't seeing as much snow on the roadways. They're much more passable than they have been the last couple of days. But because it is, I think, currently 9 degrees outside, there is a significant amount of ice. So I would say to the public, we didn't have any control over how much snow and how quickly it came down. We do have control on how fast we drive, how much space we provide between us and other motorists, and most importantly, our first responders. Our snow warriors and our folks picking up our trash are just as important as our cops and our firefighters. They are first responders on the front line that deserve our respect and the space to do their jobs. So please, slow down, give yourself extra time. Know that even though you may see pavement and roads seem much more passable than they were 24 or 48 hours ago, they are very dangerous. There is a ton of ice out there. And as we know, I don't think it's going to break 20 degrees for several days. We're not going to see above freezing potentially till February 10th. So this is the way we're going to have to operate. That is under our control. Do we give ourselves more time? Do we slow down? Do we give the men and women who are making our city safer the space and grace to do their jobs? That's under our control. I'd also like to give a shout out. I think I saw one of your stations did a report on the Marion football team who went out and started shoveling the driveways of seniors and folks shut in their community. I'm going to challenge all the young people in this community. You have another day off today. Get those shovels, get out there, and step up for seniors or folks that may not be able to get out and shovel their driveways and their sidewalks. This is a time where we need everybody to chip in and be part of this. With that, I'll turn things over to Director Scacco.
Okay. Hello, folks, again. Our crews have been out there working since Saturday, so we are on day 5 of working around the clock. I think the message today is we are at full throttle. We are not letting our foot off the gas. We are at full throttle with all of our forces, throwing everything we have at this storm and continuing to get our roads passable. I've got a few safety messages today. We've got some snow making its way back into our streets. I know it's really frustrating for folks when they're out there plowing out their cars that are parked on the streets, or they're plowing out their driveways and our plow trucks come along and push that snow back through there. Unfortunately, we really can't do much about it. As the mayor said, we were down at Marion last night. I was talking to some of the snow plow drivers. They feel bad about it. They hate it too, but with 12 inches of snow, there's not much that they can do. If we're going to plow your streets, that's just an unfortunate way that it's going to have to be, that snow gets, those cars get plowed in. So you're just going to have to shovel out. As the mayor said, let's get some kids out there. Let's get some good neighborhood support going and help your neighbors out. But please, please, please do not shovel that snow off of the cars back into the streets, because it makes it dangerous and it doesn't help our snow plowing efforts when we get snow back into the streets. So please make sure to pile it back onto the grass. Let's talk about driving through our priority 3s. We're trying to get them to passable. We have made one pass through all of our priority 3 streets. These are our very local network. We'll be back. In the meantime, please take it slow. They're all within a couple blocks of a collector. So the priority streets, those local streets, are meant to be driven slowly to get to that collector, which is probably going to maybe see some pavement at this point in time. Maybe not, but more passable than those probably like priority 3 streets. Please drive slowly. Take it slow. And I also just want to take some time to thank our communications team. Much like our Snow Warrior team and Scott Torville's whole leadership team, they're working around the clock too. Randy Borntrager, Charles Newman, Audrey Kane, Debbie Briner, they are working to try to keep everybody communicated with, working our social channels, and making sure that everyone has the most up-to-date information. They're working hard, as is a lot of folks within the city. So please, please, please have some patience. We're going to get to your streets. We're going to get there as fast as we possibly can. And again, the message of the day is we are at full throttle. We are not letting our foot off the gas. Scott?
Thank you, Director, Mayor. Good morning. I am very happy to report that, as indicated, less than 60 hours after snowfall ended, we have been able to service all of our roadways. So this means that each and every City of Columbus street has seen at least a plow truck to do a pass-in, pass-out. We continue to service our arterial collector and local roadway network with about 80 trucks right now. This effort is focused on pushing back travel lanes, turn lanes, intersections, and those things as much as possible on our arterial and collector streets. Motorists should continue to drive with caution. There are locations, especially on the larger, wider streets that have a very large volume of snow, where we will struggle to push the snow all the way off the road, all the way up and over off the curb. So motorists can continue to expect, particularly those curb lanes, to have small amounts of snow on the far right-hand side as you drive. There's just so much snow that we're going to struggle to be able to get all of that off the road and have somewhere to put it. Cold weather has started to actually cause some impacts, particularly in some of our equipment. Our salt is now starting to freeze in some of our trucks as they're servicing roadways. So this will cause some of those trucks to be down for an hour or two as they're brought into a garage to thaw out and get that salt to start breaking up so that we can then go out and apply it to the roadways. Just another gift from Mother Nature, if you will. Streets do remain snow covered and with inconsistent condition. So I know we've shared over the last couple of days, you may be on a section of roadway that's clear, and then you come up to an intersection or some other part of the roadway where the width has changed or there's some snow or slick spots. So again, please continue to drive with caution. We do remain here in Franklin County at a level 1 snow emergency. Drivers are continued to be urged to drive with heightened caution and sound judgment. The Sheriff's Office is also asking residents to continue to limit travel to essential needs. I'm reading a statement from the Sheriff's Office. Limit travel to essential needs wherever possible to ensure crews have space to continue clearing and treating roads. Again, as said before by my peers here and colleagues, in regards to local roadways, there will not be clear, bare pavement, and they will not be pushed all the way back to the curb. We will be making a full additional round on all of our local Priority 3 streets in the coming days. Residents can help us. Please, residents, you are our partners in this snow removal effort. When you are clearing snow, when you are shoveling and being a good neighbor, please, please, please do not put that into the street. You've heard Mayor Ginther challenge the young members of our community. So young ladies, young gentlemen, when you guys are out doing that effort, please be cognizant of that. Do not be throwing that snow into the streets. Throw it off to the side into the yards. As you're out there doing that work, again, please be reminded to clear the fire hydrants. In the unlikely or unfortunate event that our fire department needs to head out there, please make sure that they're able to easily see and get access to those critical pieces of equipment. We have also experienced roadways that we have plowed and now have piles of snow in them from folks shoveling off driveways, shoveling off sidewalks, brushing their cars. So that causes us some additional effort and again just makes our overall operations more inefficient. So again, please be a good partner to us. Please be a good partner by checking on your neighbors and help all of us help each other. Speaking of partners, again, I want to thank our folks from our auxiliary program that the mayor mentioned, Rec and Parks, Building and Zoning, Department of Neighborhoods, Columbus Water and Power, the Development Department, as well as a number of folks from other groups within our Public Service Department. And then finally, again, our fleet team, they have remained working 24 hours a day since Saturday afternoon as well to help ensure that our equipment stays as functional as possible. And then again, of course, County Engineer Adam Fowler and his team down there. I'm going to touch a little bit more on snow hauling lately, but again, those guys are kicking butt and taking names down there with that hauling operation. It's really been effective, and we're really going to be able to get the streets in the downtown central business district back to normal much more quickly than we would have without their help. So in regards to that, as the mayor mentioned, we've taken about 1,200 loads so far. We estimate we're about 2/3 the way done. we need another 24 to 36 hours of operations to finish that effort. I don't see Mr. Tom from Channel 6 here, but yesterday he asked about how much snow we had taken. I don't have a number right now, but we estimate that when we are done, we will have hauled 35 to 45,000 cubic yards of snow. So that's quite a bit. I think Anna and Elsa from Frozen are going to have a really good time building a lot of snowmen down there. Motorists should be aware as a part of this hauling operation of rolling closure. So as the crews are working on a particular block or section of the downtown area to haul this snow out, we do have a police presence to help temporarily shut down a block or two of roadways so that those crews can quickly and safely and effectively remove that snow. So if you are traveling in the downtown area, please be patient, and if you come upon one of those closures, again, be patient and help us stay safe with those operations down there. We are going to continue to work around the clock and not stop until we have facilitated a full cleanup. As mentioned, right now we're focusing on pushing back those curb lanes, the turn lane shoulders over the next couple of days before really making another full-on effort to finish a full round of those local streets. Again, we talked about this yesterday, but these extreme cold temps, not only are they hard, but with the lack of snow melt and the potential for snow in next week's forecast, anything that we don't push back now is just going to cause us bigger problems next week if Mother Nature decides to snow on us a little bit more. Do not shovel the snow into the streets. Again, this is really a big point of emphasis for us today. And then, of course, do not crowd the plows. I am happy to report no major accidents yesterday for our crews, so that's a win for us. Just a few minor little issues, but nothing major. So glad to see that we made it through yesterday without any major issues. But again, please be respectful of these hardworking men and women. These trucks are large. They don't turn well. They're very heavy, and they're doing incredibly critical work to serve all of us. So with that, I don't know if there's any remaining comments for you two, but
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd reinforce, thank you, Director, thank you, Scott, is the things that we control. And I would just build an extra 20 minutes into any of your commutes and movements around town, probably at least for the next week or so. Our hope is we'll have yellow buses rolling here soon, getting kids where they belong in school. But, with buses and with roads being passable, not perfect, everybody should be building some more time in. And I would remind residents, the roads aren't going to be completely clear. If you see an emergency vehicle, if you can't get over it, just stop. We can make things much safer if a cruiser or a medic is on a run somewhere, if they know that you are yielding to them. And the same sort of encouragement as we get yellow buses rolling. There's not always going to be a safe passage for two vehicles at the same time. Just asking each other, everybody here, to show one another some grace, build some more time into your commutes, and continue to put safety first. What do you guys got?
So, Mayor, it was reported last night there are about 40 water main breaks around the city. People whose streets are encased in ice, their cars are encased in ice. What's your promise to the residents who live on South Highland Avenue, Neshoba Avenue, Mount Pleasant Avenue, about when the city is going to be able to fix these water leaks, and how big of a problem is this for the city?
It's a big issue here, but in places around the country. And as you know, a lot of these water main breaks happen when there's extreme fluctuations in temperature or when it is extremely low for an extended period of time. So I don't think this is going to stop based on what is predicted over the next week to 10 days. I would encourage people to share the information with 311, get in contact with Power and Water. I know many of the places that you have cited, and I think I talked to some of your colleagues last night about this. The Division of Power and Water is working on those. We know that it is challenging because we have snow warriors and others getting snow off our roadways, but when you have these water main breaks, you have an exceptional amount of ice that makes some of these roads not passable. And based on the temperatures, some of the chemicals we use to treat ice are far less effective. So it is going to be a challenge, but it is on our radar. We are actively working on those. But I think, unfortunately, we're going to see more water main breaks just based on the temperatures and conditions. And this isn't a issue isolated to Columbus.
What's your marching orders for the water department to try to fix these water main breaks so these people can get to work
Yeah.
and they don't have to be trapped in their homes?
Yeah, and trying to figure out alternative routes and making sure we focus on those areas with the work of the snow warriors to prioritize those areas where folks may have to take a different route while we're fixing that water main break. That's all being done.
The Snow Warriors, they're on day 5, and we're supposed to have these temperatures, possibly even more snow next week, going on for a week plus. Within that context, what's the difference in the amount of the workforce today compared to, let's say, Saturday, Sunday? And how feasible is it to keep going ahead? I guess, what are those plans moving ahead, and how realistic are we going to be able to clear up the city?
Yeah. You want to speak to the staff and stuff?
Yeah. So from a staffing perspective, we have pretty much the same numbers. Again, we've had a few people, particularly from our auxiliary staff, they have other jobs that they just simply have to do. And again, it's not a weekend. We're trying to keep all functions of the city moving. But by and large, our staffing numbers are pretty much the same as they have been. Again, these, as you mentioned, this is incredibly challenging work. These men and women are working 12-hour shifts on, 12-hour shifts off. I would be lying if I said we're perfect. But again, I'll put my team up against anyone. They are the toughest, strongest, most dedicated public servants out there, and we will do what it takes.
I know you mentioned yesterday that there was an accident with the driver. Are we seeing anything else like that?
Nothing major yesterday. So that accident, that accident was on Monday. So since our press conference yesterday, Tuesday, we haven't had anything major. Knock on wood. And so that was a good day for us.
There was I guess there are people who are calling us who are saying they're parking on priority 1 roads because they can't get into the alleys and want to know if the city can plow alleys because they're parking on the priority 1 roads and their cars are getting plowed in every day. How do you address that?
We are continuing to work our snow and ice control plan, which includes services on our priority 1 arterial roadways, our priority 2 collector roadways, and our priority 3 local roadways. That network is over 4,600 miles, so we are continuing to work our plan and service those roadways as best we can.
So you don't plow alleys?
There is a very limited amount of plowing in alleys in partnership with our refuse group, so that rear access alley trash can be serviced, but beyond that, no, we do not service alleys.
So what do you recommend to people who normally park in the alleys, they're parking on priority 1, they're getting plowed in, where can they park so they can get out of it?
Again, I would encourage them to park on a nearby street that is not an arterial street, and again, we're going to need some help from Mother Nature to ultimately get this melted off. We're doing everything we can to keep the 4,600 miles open and accessible.
Mayor, you mentioned last. Oh, sorry, Director.
No,
you wanna-
I was just going to add. I mean, I live in an older neighborhood, and on the Near East Side, we've plowed. We've gone out and shoveled our alleys. I mean, my neighbors down the street they've shoveled part of their alley. We had to shovel part of our alley to be able to get in and out of our garage. I mean, 12 inches of snow is a lot of snow. So I mean, people are just going to have to. I hate to say it, just get out there and shovel.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever plowed alleys
No.
in the city's history. So, I'm sorry, Jordan. Go ahead.
That's okay. Mayor, how much? You mentioned $100,000 you authorized last night. How much in total have you authorized in emergency money for this snow response, and why is this a priority?
Well, clearly, this is an unprecedented storm, the likes of which we have not seen in nearly 20 years. And we know our community works best when kids are in school and moms and dads are at work. And we want to make sure that, our hospitals, folks are able to access hospitals, healthcare, all their basic needs, be able to get, access to groceries and to work and appointments. And so this is one of our top priorities. Obviously, this feeds right into the health and safety of the community. So we assigned an emergency order last week for $100,000, authorized another $100,000 last evening, and we're going to continue to invest whatever it takes to make sure that our economy is open, that our kids are in school, and that folks can get to the things that matter most to them safely in the city of Columbus.
Mayor, the coroner's office told us this morning there have been no weather-related deaths. Can you react to that, and what do you credit that to?
Well, the credit goes to the people of Columbus because I think they took this seriously. I want to thank the governor for their declaration of emergency and raising awareness. He did share with me earlier this week, though, that even with all that warning, the Ohio State Highway Patrol saw a 20-fold increase in calls to stranded motorists around the state, even with all that awareness. But I want to thank the people of Columbus for staying at home and for their support of our snow warriors in getting out there and helping to make our streets as passable as possible and try to get back to some sense of normalcy. Just building an extra 20 or 30 minutes into your daily commute and transport, taking it slow, yielding to emergency vehicles, and making sure we all stay safe. I think that's how we continue to work on, and checking in our neighbors. That's an important point, I think, based on your question. If you have seniors or folks with limited abilities in your neighborhood, please go and check on them. Just make sure they have what they need and step up and support them.
And follow up to that, that means as of this time we know of no winter-related deaths for unhoused people. Do you want to say anything about the shelter board's efforts?
Just grateful for Shannon and her team at the Community Shelter Board and for folks that have taken advantage of that hotline. I know we've shared it. I'll share it again, 614-274-7000, because they will send out a team. If we have a neighbor that is living in a car or homeless, these are very dangerous. It's only going to get more dangerous the longer these extreme temperatures hang around. And so this is a loving, generous, and compassionate community. We have space for you. Come inside and let us make sure that you survive some very dangerous and deadly consequences.
Mayor, we have a question from a viewer who says Columbus 311 is automatically closing any request for assistance with snow and ice following the storm. They do not even have a person reviewing the request. They are canceling within seconds of submission. Are you aware of that? Is that true? And what's your message to 311?
Scott?
Yes, so we actually coordinate with the Department of Neighborhoods and 311s. When we are in an active snow event, either because it's snowing or we're still facilitating our cleanup, 311s are automatically closed so that we can focus and work our plan in accordance with our plan. We would encourage residents to submit those 311s. Both now they get reviewed after the storm, as well as once we finish our cleanup. If you feel that your street hasn't been serviced appropriately, we'll take that 311, we'll review it, and if we did not deliver on the level of service that's expected in our plan, we'll make improvements to a section of roadway once we're done with our cleanup.
So the reason you're closing them is what again? Why are you closing them? Why don't you just take them anyway?
We are currently working our plan. We have 4,600 miles to service, and so we cannot be responding to hundreds of 311s while we've got a foot of snow on the ground. So we're working our plan. Again, we're trying to service those arterial roadways to restore essential functions and, again, ensure that traffic can flow to the major hospitals and medical facilities and things like that. Once we finish our event, those 311s open back up. They do come to us, and, again, if there's a section of street or a roadway that was not serviced appropriately according to our plan, we will go ahead and service it with some troubles.
So when can people begin to contact 311 that their street hasn't been plowed so that you can address them?
Those requests will start coming to us when we end our event in Warrior Watch, which will probably be in another 2.5 to 3 days. As indicated, we're making additional rounds on our arterial roadways, our collector roadways, and our local roadways. We will have a truck on every local local roadway. We've already done that once. We'll have a truck on every local roadway again here within the next couple of days.
I would just add that as much as we would like to respond to every 311, as Scott said, we are working our plan, and we would not be at 100% have touched all the streets if we were running trucks all over the city responding to 311s.
Is the Warrior Watch computer, is that up to date? Because I know that some people have called and said, it says that our road was touched when the roadwear says it is, and vice versa.
So,
was there a problem with a glitch or something?
So I would respond, we have an extreme amount of confidence that our system is accurate. It is a system built by human beings. I am not going to tell you that it's infallible, okay? We have several steps in process to ensure that it's reporting the most accurate information available to us. But again, it's not perfect. We do monitor that, and as we get those types of complaints, we will verify that, yep, we did it right. If we find one or two where, hey, wait a minute, Warrior Watch is showing that we serviced this street, but we're not 100% sure that we did, we will send someone out to service if needed or verify that it has been serviced.
I guess in the opposite of that, if people are seeing trucks on the road and it's showing it's not being serviced, one of the sensors in the trucks might be broken. I mean, this weather has been brutal on our equipment, so, I mean, that could very well be possible that some of the sensors might be broken and not recording everything either.
Yeah, we're not going to take a truck off the road just because it's got a sensor. It's still fully functional with plowing and salting and things like that.
Final questions?
The $100,000 you mentioned, how much, I don't maybe some answer, but I wasn't sure. The $100,000 you mentioned, how many additional plows does that put on the roads? Did you mention that?
That's definitely a Scott question.
Our contractor group is about 14 trucks, and so that's enough money to keep them running for several more days.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe out there.